we are here talking Detroit Lions news and rumors for you folks today in this free agency period. Thursday, one more day to Friday as we're all getting excited for the weekend. I got to tell you what, it's been really warm here in the state of Michigan, but unfortunately it's about to get cold, and that sucks because we enjoyed a nice, almost 70-degree day yesterday. And now it's 50, and it's supposed to go down all the way back to the 30s here in a couple days. So that sucks, but it's rainy outside, so it's good to be streaming when it's nasty out. James Janella, Shift OG, Brandon Vall, Mofo, Jimbo, Taylor, Alexis Janella, 9 Drinks, Lisa DeLorenzo. We got Chrome, Kurt, and Pierce Sargent, Deborah Estima. Welcome to the One Pride Podcast. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Let's get you up to date really quick. Extensions handed out to Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Spielman. It is a good day to be those three as the Detroit Lions gave them an extension all the way till 2027. So the trio is coming back to Detroit for more years. Of course, they were going to get extended. Of course, they're going to be a Detroit Lion for a long time. But it's good that they're getting that stuff done there. So congratulations to Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and Spielman getting that extension all the way to 2027. Sheila Ford Hamp getting it done with hiring these OGs to make our franchise much improved than what it used to be. We got a 1999 Super from my guy, SR7187.
Ultra combo breaker. Ultra combo breaker.
Shout out to you to SR7187 1999 Super. Show him some love in the comments below. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for sure doing that super chat on this free agency period, as it's only March 14, and we're all really getting excited, obviously, for the next season, and we're about a month and a half away from the NFL draft, too, so great stuff coming on here for the Detroit Lions. We'll do some QA for sure. I already see questions coming in there. Absolutely. Taylor says, Campbell Dynasty for you. Absolutely, Campbell Dynasty. SR7187 would probably agree right there, as the man is an OG, raises basically. All right, so look, the guys are here. They are back. Having Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell is a good thing. DJ Reader supposed to be making a visit to Detroit, and I don't know the exact day it's going to happen. I'm sure you guys read it. DJ Reader, a big O interior defensive lineman, really good at run stuffing, but not the greatest in pass. And taking out the quarterback, pass rush. But he's a hell of a run stuffer. I think that's, look, I'm fine. If they get DJ Rader, great. We can always get help on the interior, the defensive line. You got Levi and Uzurike in there, Liam McNeil. And so you need to get another guy. But, I don't think that'd be the end-all, be-all to get a DJ Rader, because I still think we need more of an interior DT that can get to the quarterback as well. This is more of the run-stuffing guy. And Lee McNeil and him, though, talk about clogging the holes. Talking about clogging the holes. You're not going to be able to run on us. And if you look what the NFC North did, DJ Reader makes a lot of sense. Josh Jacobs, Green Bay Packer, Jones, a Minnesota Viking, and DeAndre Swift, a Chicago Bear. They're trying to run the football in the NFC North, trying to replicate what the Detroit Lions did, and that's exactly what we're seeing in the NFC North, is you're seeing the teams try to prepare for the Detroit Lions, getting this run game going. So, he's in Detroit today. All right, Eric Armstead as well. Okay, did not see the Armstead one. That is some good news. Look, those are some good players. We missed out on a player that we all wanted. We missed out on Danielle Hunter. But that's okay. There's more players out there to get. Eric Armstead would be nice. That would be a little bit better to me than getting Marcus Davenport. That would, to me, be an upgrade over that. I didn't think Davenport was going to be the guy at all. So Eric Armstead would be a little bit nice there. But DJ Reader, we need to get better on that defensive line. I think every one of you in the comments will agree that it's time to get the defensive line built like the Lions' offensive line. Right? So that's really important to build the trenches. And if they do get an Armstead, if they do get a DJ Reader, that's going to help that. And I tell you what, it makes the NFL draft very intriguing because I think the need at that point would be guard, right? If you're to get DT, edge, you already got 2 corners in free agency, guard becomes the biggest need. And then, man, you're talking about you got 7 draft picks, really one gigantic need, and everything else, it's BPA. And, of course, you can double up or triple up on corner and edge for sure, but it's just making it a little bit more flexible for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Because when you're sitting at pick 29, it's a little more difficult. Right? So it's not like you got a top 10 draft pick, so it makes a lot of sense. Go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get to 50 likes. We've got 123 of you in the building right now. For sure. Run stuffer and pass rusher, absolutely. Now, again, I don't know if they're going to sign or not. They're here. I haven't seen anything. We'll definitely keep it up because I got my feed up here, so if something happens, we're going to get it for sure. Okay, former Lions and Dolphins safety Deshaun Elliott is joining the Steelers, so you remember him a couple years ago. He's going to be a Steeler. Now, we got to watch today. Will Khalil Mack and will Joey Bosa, one of these guys get released, or will they both get released? We're going to be watching that for today, or will they get traded? That'll be interesting because there's some good pass rushers out. There's a lot of good pass rushers available, whether it be trade or in free agency. This was a great year for getting a pass rusher, and this is a good one. And DJ, when it comes to interior, there's not much in free agency, but in the draft, there's quite a bit. So if they get DJ Rader, that's good. And I know a lot of people wanted to get better, right? You wanted to go out there, but you want to know it ain't no one going to pay no 20. At least I would be upset if they signed Christian Wilkins to a big, gigantic deal like the Raiders did. Just a little bit too much money for me in free agency. Past his prime, Mack, I think, had 17 sacks this last year, 17 or 18 sacks. Just an FYI, he was a ballin' last year. I say trade up in the draft for one of those prospects. Please hit that like button. Absolutely, Lisa. Appreciate you. So, out of those two, would you like to get Armstead or Reader or both? I would say both because they're both need at this point, right, to get DT and to get a pass rusher here. I still go sign them both. I don't think it's going to be a gigantic deal either. I can't see Chase Young coming here. Chase Young does not have a visit scheduled for Detroit, and Detroit is probably not interested. Why? Because he's given up on plays, and that's just what they do. Hope Armstead and Reader don't want big money. Yeah, for sure. It depends what the money is. And some of these guys, they like to visit and take their time, and that's what they're probably doing right now. So that's a good thing. So let's talk about the players whom we already did sign. Amik Robertson. We got him from the Raiders as well. He's smaller, 5'9", 183 pounds. I think he had 2 interceptions. He can play slot and outside, but I think he'll be slot here for Detroit because of his size, but he's very fast, so he can keep up with those speed receivers. That's definitely a must because we got some speed receivers in the NFL, and we need to have somebody that can keep up. And I think he'd be a hell of a nickel, and that'd give the opportunity for Brian Branch to move around the defense a little bit more. That would be really, really good. Since he might sign Becton, to keep an eye on that. Yep, that's another thing. Got him. I got all the feed up here right there, but it's good to have him out there. The trade, obviously, Carlton Davis. I thought it was a good trade. You get 2 6s back, and you give up a third. The guy, the cap is a little bit high for him. I think it's $14.5 million this year, but those two are an upgrade from what we have. Is it, someone that we really wanted to get? No, we didn't really hear about it, but that's okay. It doesn't mean it's a bad move. It's not arrogant the way that free agency is ran by Brad Holmes, what I think is absolutely ridiculous. So Mike Valenti came out and said that Brad Holmes is arrogant for the way that he does the draft. These people are comical at this point. These people are comical. No matter what this organization does, they have hate. They have hate 24/7. And it's like there's nothing they can do right. It's insane, man. The same old Lions fans or commentators are going to be the same old Lions no matter what. The Lions win 5 Super Bowls straight. Well, Brad Holmes is arrogant. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Mack had 6 sacks in one game, so he had like 11 sacks in another. That's crazy. 6 in one game is absolutely ridiculous, but he's good. Vikings draft pick going to get us a DB who didn't get burned by the first down Brown. First down Brown, amon-ra, St. Brown. I'm a little bit off there. Yeah, so I think right now, look, I'm sure there's 167 of you in there, and there's a lot of you that are disappointed in free agency so far because we all wanted our guys. We all liked said players, and guess what? We didn't get what we want. That's okay. That's okay because here's the deal when it comes to free agency. I don't put as much, not even close to much stock into free agency as the draft. The draft is way more important. So I'd say 75-80% draft, and the rest is free agency at that point. Free agency is not where you want to build your roster and build the foundation of your team. That is going to be the NFL draft. And if we were to go out there and give, gigantic contracts, we're going to be the Miami Dolphins releasing players like they have been. Or letting them walk in free agency. We don't want that to happen. I love what we did. What linebacker? We didn't get a linebacker released, but Anthony Pittman signed with the Washington Commanders, in which he was the last linebacker on the depth chart. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter to me. We need to draft a big body wide receiver. We'll see shift because Josh Reynolds and Donovan Peoples-Jones are not signed yet by anyone, or wide receiver market's actually been not doing anything. So we haven't really seen a whole lot in free agency in that. I still would like to bring Josh Reynolds back for sure. That would be nice. He's already got the connection with this organization and Jared Goff, most importantly. What's up, Mike G? What is up? J.J. Jetta and T. Higgins trade about to happen? I don't know if it's about to happen. Let me do my feed here while I'm live. I can consistently do this just to make sure it's good to go. Mike Williams has been cut by the Chargers. So the Chargers cut Mike Williams. Mike Williams, pretty good wide receiver, in all honesty. I know he's been dealing with some injury issues, but he's a pretty good receiver. So that's another receiver that's hitting the market. We want the most to hit the market to it kind of like makes it a little bit cheaper for us. That's what I want to see. Too many wide receivers in the draft. Always wide receivers in the draft. Wide receivers slow because no many rookies coming cheap. Rams released Williams. Yep, he's big body. Get Mike Williams. What's up, Phil? I agree. Bring Reynolds back. Yes, yeah. I don't think it's going to cost that much. I really don't. I'd be shocked if he got some bigger contract. Maybe 1 or 2 year deal for Detroit. I'd like to do that. Same with Donovan. What's up, Craig? Craig? Higgins wants to be traded. Yes, Higgins wants to be traded, but if you're a player of Higgins, in which the Detroit Lions, by the way, are not going to get Higgins, okay? We already got Jamison Williams. We got a St. Brown. We got to pay. Higgins not going to be a Detroit Lion. Be interesting where he goes. You could see maybe Chicago or Carolina. There are 2 teams that would probably be able to get his services, but it's going to cost a lot to get T. Higgins. They also restructured Mac. Yep. Referring to Anthony Pittman, he just signed with the Commanders. Yep, Anthony Pittman just signed with the Commanders right before we went live. Did you see CJ talking trash about us? I did not see CJ Gardner-Johnson talking trash about us, but look, if he wants to talk trash about the Detroit Lions or the fans, dude, you only played in like 4 games for the Lions this year, man. You got really nothing to talk trash about. So I didn't see it. I got no hate for C.J. Gardner-Johnson unless he wants to talk trash about the fans or something. I think that's ridiculous. That's just immature. And then it shows the reason why he's consistently a free agent. Let's see, okay, the NFL app was making it seem like we got a big rid of a linebacker. Yeah, we didn't get rid of Michael Pittman, man. He was a special teams guy, and he was last on the depth chart. So he is not a big name at all. He's a Walmart Eli Apple. He had trade T. Higgins to Carolina Panthers. That could be a spot for him. Again, keep this feed going to see if there's anything that happens. Free agency period here. And nothing new. We're going to go ahead and just kind of do a little bit of mailbag segment and just We'll take questions from you guys. Let's see. I listen to Brad Holmes, and he has been transparent about the way the Lions do. 100%. And this is what I don't understand with all these commentators and Mike Valenti so upset. This has been the plan. Brad Holmes has endlessly talked about it. Build through the draft. Build through the draft. Why is that so difficult for people to understand? Or at least not Lions fans, not you guys. You're all informed. But why is it so hard for some of these commentators like Mike Valenti and Rico Beard to figure this out? You build through the draft, okay? Sheesh. Yeah, Maben did probably take Pittman's role, and people was calling Iffy mid yesterday. Iffy Afutu Melifonwu? Iffy was looking like an all-star. An all-star the last 5 or 6 games. This Afutu Melifonwu took a gigantic leap. Boy, if he plays like if he plays like he did the last 5-6 games that he played, he'll be an all-pro safety. That's how well he was playing. He was playing amazing. Amazing. If somebody knows what C.J. Gardner-Johnson said, I'd like you guys to say it. I'm curious. I don't know what he said. I have no idea. Let's see. Why are people still... Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I seen something hilarious. Mike, when is the next time you'll be on the Huge Show? Been trying to catch you there. Tomorrow. They tried to get me on today, man. I literally have been on. So the Huge Show is West Michigan radio station, 96.1. I'll be on tomorrow, 3 to 6. Hey, apparently they do trivia about me on there. So, look, if you guys got to listen to it, man. I'm on the radio now on ESPN, so check it out. Tomorrow, it was going to be today, 3 to 6, and then tomorrow 3 to 6, but I wanted to do this live stream, and it's just a little too difficult for me to do the live stream and then drive all the way because it's not like it's right next to my house. So it would have been too hard, so I had to do the live stream, so I'm not doing that today. So I'll be on tomorrow. Didn't say any. Oh, it's a fake account. Okay, well, good. Yeah, there's be nothing for him bad to say, right? I mean, we didn't do anything to him. Should Detroit Line bring back Quandre Diggs? No, and Quandre Diggs is my favorite player before he was traded, and I like Quandre Diggs, but he's past his prime. I'm ready. Look, if they want to get a veteran, okay, but you can get an older veteran, but not as long as the tooth as Diggs is, or you could just draft a guy. Honestly, we got 3 great safeties right now, so we don't really need to spend a whole lot of money at that position. Oh, you heard me? I heard you on the radio again? Awesome, man. Hopefully you enjoyed it. They really liked it. I was getting a lot of good feedback on there to where, like, I could have opportunities being on the radio a lot more going forward. So that's something that could happen for sure. It says, what up, Big Mike? To hell with Valenti, what he says. He's always been a hater. He's a Giants fan anyway. He didn't say anything. It was a fake account. Okay, good. Yeah, good with CJ. Mike Valenti is just, look, man. And you know what? I don't want to hate because it's his opinion, but at some point, I think when you have success like Brad Holmes has had, especially in the draft, why are we not giving him the benefit of the doubt? Am I right here? Why can't we give this man the benefit of the doubt? He has proved it. He has proved it. Everybody destroyed Brad Holmes' draft, okay, last year. Who was right, Mel Kiper or Brad Holmes? Who was right, Mike Valenti or Brad Holmes? Who was right, anybody that talked about the draft or Brad Holmes? Brad Holmes was correct, okay? He went on a limb and he received hate. He did it right. Free agency is supplemental, folks. It is not where you want to put all eggs in a basket. It's okay to be disappointed we didn't get who we wanted. That is okay. Brad Holmes is not an idiot. He knows what he's doing, man. Like, It's crazy. It's just, like, for me, and this is the way, what did I tell you before at free agency? I told everybody this. If Brad Holmes gets guys who I didn't want or I didn't get, I'm fine with it. I refer to Brad Holmes. Can I get irritated? Yes, we all could get irritated. Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. Okay, he's got it. Just let him do his job, folks. It's utterly ridiculous. I've never seen as much hate on a team as this, even after they do good. Could you see T. Higgins getting traded to the Vikings? Jefferson goes to the Bengals. Seen that as a rumor. Ooh, that'd be an interesting trade. That's a player swap. I think the Vikings would probably still have to get more in return because Justin Jefferson's so good. But, man, you could see a situation like that for sure. Especially with the Vikings making the weird, they got rid of Kirk Cousins and all that type. I don't know if it's a true rumor. I don't know if it'll happen, but, I mean, I could see it happening. I could. I mean, that makes sense. Casey. Correct, Casey. Mike's Brad Holmes record speaks for itself. Absolutely. 100%. It speaks for himself. That's it. I defer to Brad Holmes. Everybody knows who I wanted in free agency. I didn't get him. Was I like, damn it? Yeah, I said, damn it, son of a B. F. I wanted him. And then a couple minutes later, it's like, Brad Holmes knows what he's doing. There you go. Like, it's just, he knows what he's doing, right? So, we need a speed at cornerback still. Oh, but, hey, Amik Robertson's fast, David. He's really fast. He's a fast corner. So, I forgot what he ran. Was it low? Was it 4.4s? He ran really, really fast. He is a speed corner. And he can play outside, but he's really good at nickel. So there could be situations, too, where they may take Amik Robertson and actually put him, say if we're going against a Tyreek Hill. You could have a situation where they'll probably pair them up because he's so fast and you got to have speed on speed. But, David, your statement's correct. Like, we definitely need to have that speed. 4.4. That's what I was thinking. It was a 4.4. So he ran really fast, fast at corner. Absolutely love it. Higgins only would have went to the Chiefs if he didn't get tagged. That'd be a good spot for him for Kansas City, but my God. Kansas City, it would just be the rich just keep getting richer. Okay, let's see a question here. If you got questions, put in hashtag like James just did. Is the fact that the Lions haven't restructured Goff a sign that Hooker is the future? I'm not going to say that right now. I love Hendon Hooker. I think they'll get the deal done with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Sometimes contracts are a little difficult, man. Doesn't mean like it's going to happen right when you want it to, but I don't think that's the case. I think he does get the deal done. When you did what you did what Jared Goff has done the last 2 years, and I love Hendon Hooker, you got to re-sign Jared Goff. You just cannot allow a guy who got you to an NFC Championship game, and the reason we lost is not due to Goff. So I think that they get him re-signed. What's up with Charles Harris and Romeo Okwara? They are not coming back. They will not be a Detroit Lion. That's what it is. They're free agents. They're not coming back. Who would you prefer at nickel, Branch or Amik? That's a great question, Craig. I think that you could switch it up depending on speed and what type of receiver or who they're targeting, right? If it's a tight end, sometimes they'll put tight ends in the slot. You probably want Brian Branch. He's more of a hitter. But if they got a speedy guy, kind of like a Khalif Raymond type of guy, you probably want to have Amik. So I think it's situational. Let's see. If I miss your question, just repost it. Lions, would you draft a hybrid linebacker to replace Derek Barnes, or would you prefer a traditional linebacker? I would just keep Derek Barnes. It took 3 years to get him to this point in development. I'm not going to get rid of him as he starts to get good. Just go ahead and keep him. If Adrian Peterson returns to the NFL, would he be a good fit for the Lions like a Debo Sam? AP, he ain't returned to the NFL. That dude's old as a mug. No. His time is over. Would you like the addition of DJ Reader? Yeah, I like it. He's a hell of a run stuffer. I'm not saying it'd be the end of DT. I'd still like the Lions to draft one. But yeah, he's a run stuffer. You can never have enough defensive linemen, period. Period. And especially stopping the run, right? I think we're number 2 in the NFL stopping the run last year. And you got to deal with Josh Jacobs now. You got to deal with Aaron Jones now. And you got to deal with DeAndre Swift in the NFC North. So let's go ahead and bring DJ Reader here on a nice contract, draft another defensive tackle in the draft, and I think that interior is completely solid, and then you can really just focus on everything else in BPA. Did you hear that Detroit Lions have agreed to contract extension with Jaron Brad Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell? Yes, I did. Talked about it to start the show, and if you didn't hear that, I'll just replay it again. I think it's awesome, all the way till 2027. Spielman got extended as well, so our leadership is good to go for many years. Well-deserved for all 3 of those men. Do we know the meeting went with Raider? Have no idea. Don't know. I know he was visiting another team. I don't know if he visited the team before or if this is the last team. I couldn't tell you how well it went. Let me do a re-up on my feed to see if there's any sort of news upon that. And Atlanta Falcons are trading Desmond Ridder to the Arizona Cardinals. There you go. So we got another trade here. The Atlanta Falcons traded Desmond Ridder to Arizona. So Arizona's going to have Desmond Ridder, and then they got a taller mobile quarterback, and now they got their little tiny quarterback as well. Let's see. Are you thinking edge or interior line? I think you can get BB in the second round. And so I probably would go with edge right there. But either way, interior offensive line is absolutely needed. So if they go guard at 29, I am not going to be upset. Cooper Beebe, I think you can get him in the second round, personally. I was just talked about that. You can get him in the second round. But if they feel like they can't and he's not going to be there, like if they want to take him at 29, I think it'd be a little bit of a reach. But at the same time, we took Jack Campbell and Jahmyr Gibbs. He will be a stud guard for the Lions for many years. So if that's the route they wanted to go, I'm fine with it. But I think you can get a good guard in round 2. Compensation for Pittman, I think he got $2 million around there for the Commanders. We will get no comp pick for him. Are you going to live stream at the draft? Yes, we will be live streaming. I actually just talked to Chrissy 2 days ago, and they're getting my hotel up there. So we'll be at the draft. We'll be live streaming. I don't know exactly where or what part, but I know it's going to happen. So as soon as I know exactly where it's at, I'll let you know, and then we all can meet up. But yes, all of us, Everything King, Dose of Dion, Roar Lions UK, we're all going to be as one unit. It's going to be hella fun. All of LNU is coming together on the big one. How do you feel about bringing back Evan Brown for a backup guard seat? Yeah, I love it, Craig. You know I love Evan Brown. I think he's a good guy to play center if there's an injury. Well, why not? I don't know how much he's going to command, but why not? The go for Zeitler? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they could just go ahead and draft and go ahead and get your guy for the offensive line. Backup, I just don't think that, yeah. I would rather just go to the draft, in all honesty. I'm going to just keep it 100. What about Hunter to Lions? Hunter went to Houston Texans. 2-year deal. I think it was $45 million. He was talking to the Lions, Texans, and there was another team, but he signs with Houston. So that sucks. So we didn't get him. But, and Brad Holmes, I trust. Let's see. Should the Lions use a late-round pick on a running back 3 to replace Craig Reynolds? No, Craig Reynolds is going to be back with the Detroit Lions. You're going to have Craig Reynolds. You're going to have Bam. And obviously Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs and maybe Justin Jefferson. So, no, I don't think they're going to waste a single draft pick on a running back. The running back room is coming back completely whole. It is the same running back room. Craig Reynolds is going to be back. So, the same running back room. And guess what? It's a good running back room, so I'm not upset about it. Let's see. Yeah, I would rather just go to the draft. I'm going to just keep it 100. I'd rather just go to the draft at this point, right? Because you get a guy in the draft, whether if it's the first round, you have 5 years. If it's beyond the first round, you got 4 years, and it's cheap. And at that point, because remember, we got to talk about extending of Penei Sewell. And then extend, you want to slowly build it right now. Because next year, maybe we're thinking about potentially the replacement for Frank. And we're thinking about maybe a year after that, the Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell. So just go ahead and draft it. That makes life easier down the road. That's my thought process. Let me get to this Casey Webb first, and then I'll get to you, Aaron, because he was first. If I miss it, just let me know. I'm just waiting for this thing to hit up here. Mike, would you give up a pick 29 and a trade for Bosa? I think is staying in San Diego. No, I'm not going to give up. For Joey Bosa, no. No. He's in the opposite side of his career. No way in hell I'm giving up pick 29 for Joey Bosa. No. What about Derek Barnett? I mean, if they want to use him as a rotation, okay, later down the road. Right now, I would be fine with the Detroit Lions. Just go ahead and, looking at Armstead and DJ Reader at this point. We have a $4.99 Super SR7187 with the $4.99 Super. He's dropped 2 Supers today. Big shout out to SR7187. Shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate you so much, man. You're awesome. Thank you. Show some love to SR. Do you think there is a strong possibility that there is no Josh Reynolds in the draft wide receiver in first round? I don't. I mean, the Josh Reynolds, I could see, right? They could go in a different direction there. Drafting a wide receiver in round 1, that receiver's not going to get enough touches, right? If you draft a guy with the 29th pick, he's going to be your number 4 or 5 receiver. That's not going to get enough use out of him. When you can get a guard you'll get 100% of snaps, you'll get an edge rusher who'll get a lot of snaps, you'll get a defensive tackle that will get a lot of snaps. Why just give a handful of snaps to a first-round pick? Doesn't make sense to me. Only if a crazy player fell. The only way is if there's a crazy fall, right? And then when that's for any type of player at any position. How long till St. Brown contract extension? I say it could be any day, in all honesty. It'll happen to me before training camp. And it's going to be a big contract, folks. And he deserves the big contract. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. Over 1,500 yards receiving. I think he had 10 touchdowns. The guy is an automatic first down. He's going to get paid. Great. Yes, Spielman was with the extension. He got a 4-year extension. Talked about that to start it. He got extended. All 3 of the GOATs in the office did it. I like Newton in a way at 29. What do you think? At the possibility of Aleem McNeil replacing Aleem demands huge money, and they play the same type of game. Aleem McNeil is going to get extended. That is the word around the mill. Aleem McNeil will get extended, but if they want to go DT there, I'm fine. It is time that we build the defensive line like we did the offensive line. Like if pick 29 was DT and the second round was OG, you're not going to hear me complain because we need to build the trenches, and we do need a guard. We need a defensive tackle, even if we sign DJ Reader. We don't need to win the NFC North to win a Super Bowl. Agree to disagree? 100%. I mean, there's teams that made it to Super Bowls as a wild card. 100% it's happened. But we don't want that to happen. We want to definitely win the NFC. We want to get that number 1 seed where everyone comes through Detroit. And best believe they can do that. So, yeah, look, if you make the playoffs, it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game. And the Lions are a team that can travel, too. Mailbag, how much shish would be in your pants if they signed DJ Reader, and how much more S would be in your pants if they got Armstead and Reader? I'm not going to go crazy. I wouldn't think it's the great, they're not my number 1 guys. I'd be really fine with it. I'm not going to crap my pants over it. I think it'd be a good move. I'd be happy that they did that. It's building that line back up we need to build that defensive line, and I think they should do it, right? I want them to do it. They need to build the defensive line up. And then you do that at pick 29. You can go any direction you want to go. Guard, DT, CB, whoever's best available. You can just go do that, and that's called win-win. Does Antoine Green get 100 yards this year? No. Probably. Maybe. If they don't, but you know what? If they don't bring back Josh Reynolds, then maybe they feel that he takes that spot. So wait and see. If they bring back Josh Reynolds, no. If they don't bring him back, maybe. Good question. Antoine Green, the unsung hero. What is Vildor's status? He is sitting back waiting for a contract. The Vildors of the world, it's going to be a while probably before they start coming off the board. We're still in the first week of free agency, so it'll be a little bit. Vildor was solid as a depth piece, but I don't think it's a big deal for them if, he's like a number 5 corner. So if they bring him back on a 1-year veteran minimum deal, that's fine. Wouldn't be the biggest move in the world. We're just talking about CB5, but it's going to be difficult because look how the Lions corners are. Someone is not going to come back because Emmanuel Mosley, corner, we re-signed him. He is back. Amik Robertson, we signed him. We traded, right, corner out of Tampa Bay, Carlton Davis. Then you already have Cameron Sutton. Those are 4 veterans just right there. Just right there, that are 4 veterans. So how many more veterans are you going to get? I think we all expect them to take a corner in the draft. We don't know exactly what pick. That would be 5. So you're starting to run out of room a little bit there for that. What do you think the third challenge available is coaches prevails on either the 2 or already get that number? What do you think about third challenge available? Can you rephrase the question, Roger? Roger Guardo, I apologize. I'm not really understanding. What is your thoughts on us taking Jared Verse? That means we'd have to trade up probably near the top 10. I love Jared Verse. I think he'd be great on this defensive line. I don't think to get Jared Verse, you're probably going to give up next year's first round pick, and I don't want to do that. And I like Verse. I don't want to give up next year's first. That would scare me. We like to see Michael Thomas on a 1-year deal. Oh, getting Michael Thomas at wide receiver. Oh, look, he has connections to the staff. We'll see if that's something that they do. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I still like Josh Reynolds a little bit more, but I'm not going to get upset about it. The Gilmore brothers doing a reunion? I don't know. I don't think Stephon we already got 4 veterans right there. So you want to go 5? I don't know. Unless there's injuries, okay, but right now, let's kind of, for corner, I'm ready to kind of look for the draft at this point. That someone never expected. And I guarantee you, James, you're correct. And that's the way it should be, right? He knows what he's doing. Whoever he drafts, I'm going to support, man. Like, I just give full-on support for Brad Holmes and what he's doing. And he's not arrogant the way he does his free agency period. Moronic statement. PFF cornerback rankings that interested me is 25 Starling Thomas, 27 Jerry Jacobs, 53 Jeff Okudah, Amik Robertson, Kendall Vildor, Carlton Davis, Brian Branch, Cam Sutton. So that would be, you're bringing back Jerry Jacobs and you're bringing back Jeffrey Okudah and Starling Thomas. That's a lot of corners. And again, let me get that thing up. Gotta do it. And again. Okay. What is your thoughts? What do you think of Will Harris returning to Detroit? Did he return? I didn't see that. What I want him to return to Detroit? Absolutely not. 0 want him to come back. He brings nothing to the table but getting roasted and penalties. No. If he signs back with Detroit, I may have to make a video of, I love you, Brad Holmes, man. But what the hell has he done? Does he got videotape on you guys? That's what I would be saying. Let's see. And the thing about Thomas is he injury prone. Brad likes signing players that caliber proof. He likes those He likes those injury players, man. He does. He wants to see if he can get something out of it. JPJ from Oregon. Yeah, man, he'd be a good lineman too. Maybe second, third round, right? Yeah, he'd be a good lineman to get as well. Linked to the Lions, obviously. You're going to see a lot of guards now after free agency being linked to the Lions. A lot. So just FYI. Who's your later round cornerback that's a good man-to-man? Oh, a later round guy. I'll let Raw Podcast, you put it out there. Raw Podcast, you put it out there, a guy for him to look at. Raw is more into like the 7th round undrafteds. I'm not to that part yet, but after this free agency, I'm going to have to get to that part. So I'll let Raw Podcast let you know. Patiently waiting for the DJ Reader sign of the Detroit Lions tweet hits the timeline. That would be nice. It would be nice if it happened while I'm live, so I don't have to make a video about it. That'd be really good. Hassan Reddick, I haven't heard any trade rumors on that, bada bing, but that's an option. Again, if they strike out completely at the edge position, they could make a trade for Hassan Reddick. I've been saying that for a while now, like first try free agency in the draft, and if that fails, you could do that. 97.1 is a joke. I don't understand the hate for Brad Holmes. I think it's ludicrous. You have two guys that mock Brad Holmes in the teams that they're fans of. One, Trey Lance is who they traded up for, and now they trade him away for a bag of donuts. Okay, they trade for Chase Young. They didn't win a Super Bowl. You don't hear John Lynch getting, well, he is so arrogant. You don't hear, well, they're arrogant. The New York Giants signing Drew Lock, the worst quarterback of all time. Okay, if you want to hit on Brad Holmes, who's the best drafter of men, Storm Duck, CD, Kamal Hayden. Raw will tell you. You build through the draft. And that's why this team has been good. That's why the Lions have sucked so bad. Do you think the linebacker room needs an upgrade? I don't think so, no. I don't. I think they get a depth guy for Anthony Pittman or special teams. No, I don't think they really need to upgrade that position, no. I am happy with what we have right now. Honestly, Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, they're fine. Malcolm Rodriguez is your number 4. Whoever they want to get now from Anthony Pittman, that's fine. Anthony Pittman signing with the Commanders, oh, well, like, who cares? Like, I don't care. He signed. He doesn't really play. We already got Jalen Reeves-Maben, who's a linebacker, and he plays special teams as well. So, let's see. Kaiwasa Oyota, no way that is our starter at guard. Z-Ross, he's a backup, and he's fine backup. I'm fine with him being a backup, but they're going to draft a guard. And I fully expect it to be in the first 3 rounds. Okay, it could be at 29, it could be in the second round, but they're going to draft a guard. Brad Holmes, the best general manager we ever had, period. Exactly. Come on, man. Raw Podcast is disappointed that we didn't get Daniil Hunter. He's disappointed, but you're never going to see Raw Podcast say Brad Holmes is trash or arrogant. That's just not going to happen. You could be disappointed and sad, but to say Brad Holmes is bad or arrogant is just ridiculous, man. It's the way that he does things. I wish we would have got better free agents, but doesn't mean he sucks or anything. Oh my God. That is way overreaction. I was mad I was dropping F-bombs, wasn't I? It's like, dang it. I wanted my guy. Didn't get our guy. Okay, so Arizona Cardinals are trading Rondale Moore to the Falcons for Desmond Ridder. Rondale. Oh. That is a great pickup for Atlanta. Atlanta is the favorites now for the South. They traded Desmond Ridder, a guy who they weren't going to keep, and they got wide receiver Rondale Moore from the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta is building something right now. We're going to have to watch them for the playoffs because they're going to win their division. They got Kyle Pitts, okay, Bijan Robinson, Kirk Cousins, Rondale Moore, and, of course, Drake London. They are building something over there in Atlanta. They are building. That is going to be a fast offense. Fast offense. Do you think we're going to sign anybody this free agent cycle? Yeah, we've already signed. We traded for one, signed our own guys, signed a couple players. So yeah, they're going to continue. They may do. I'm waiting for the DJ Reader thing, seeing if he's getting signed or if Armstead right now, who is well with Detroit. So yeah, they're gonna for sure. Hassan Reddick is older Houston. My thoughts. Hassan Reddick's proven pass rusher. He's done it over years. James Houston's did it in 1 year. Hassan Reddick's proven year after year after year that he can do it. So I think he's kind of built the same way, but he's proven. So I'm not going to say they're the same, but they're proven. Houston got Danielle Hunter, Joe Mixon. Not bad. I like Houston. Yeah, Houston's looking really good. Thankfully, they're in the AFC. They're going to be a good team. Houston's building something over there. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, that is a scary combination. They're building something over there. Let's see, they put a statue of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell in a draft chest bump. Fire, bro. Heck yeah, man. There should be statues of these mugs, man. Snead, cornerback number 2. Trent McDuffie, cornerback number 1. Chiefs last year. Yeah, I don't know where Snead's going to go. He'll get traded. I don't think it's going to happen in Detroit now. C.J. Stroud, they'll get another receiver. They got the draft. Are we going to sign Armstead? I don't know. I don't know if we're going to sign Armstead or Reader. I don't know. They're here. I would like them to. Don't know. I haven't heard anything. It's really difficult to get anything out from them. No updates. Still waiting here. Again, I got the feed up if something happens. Nothing has happened yet. If something does happen, if it happens live, obviously we could talk about it. If it doesn't, we can just go ahead and wait a little bit. And then a video will be dropped. Speakeasy says sign DJ Reader. Speakeasy, baby. Let's see the latest on him. Is visiting the Bengals today. Okay, see, he's visiting the Bengals. Is a lie. Free agent. Someone says, you are a Detroit Lion. DJ Reader. Sign yet. Lions don't sign DJ Reader. So everyone's waiting for it. They're waiting for it. But he is going to be seen. It looks like he's going to be seeing the Bengals as well. And the Texans and Titans. Or no. That was a different player. So he's going to see the Bengals as well. He's here in Detroit right now. We're all waiting to see what this guy will do. Don't know until it happens. Outside Reader, what is the one move you would like to see? Get a pass rusher. Get a pass rusher. That's the one move. There's plenty out there. Get one. That's what I want to see. Yes, he is. I don't know if it's going to happen today or when the visit's happening. He is visiting, though. Let's see. Seeing how the second and third year guys develop. How much hope for Sorsdale? I don't know, man. Sorsdale was looking pretty rough last year. He got benched a couple times. So I give players 3 years. I don't know if you want to rely on Sorsdale to be your like a primary backup. I don't know. Folks, we're not trading Hendon Hooker. I don't know where. This rumor is BS. There's no legit rumor out there. The legit rumor of us trading Hendon Hooker. It makes 0 sense. There is no legit rumor that's happening. It's not going to happen. A DT to get to the quarterback? Yes, that's what we're looking for. We want to get... And look, if they get DJ Reader, you could go ahead and draft pass rush and defensive tackle. A lighter defensive tackle. We need it. We need pressure from the interior. Epinesa is gone. He re-signed with the Buffalo Bills. And now that's why I didn't talk a lot about A.J. Epinesa. He was young. I didn't think that he was going to leave the Bills organization. He didn't. Hendon is a reliable backup. Yes, he is our backup, and he's a reliable backup. Hendon Hooker's great. They drafted him to stay in Detroit. They didn't draft him to trade him the next year. They didn't do that. Thoughts on drafting a DT and an edge with their first 2-5 picks? I'm fine with it. If that's the route they go, I'm happy. We need edge. We need defensive line help. Okay, we need it. If they do it, fantastic. We still need a guard, too. Put that in there as well. Braden Fisk. That's who they need to draft. They draft Braden Fisk. Brad's going to see what Hecker can do first, mainly why I think he's going to wait and pay Goff. Hendon Hooker is the backup right now. And if things somehow got sour with Goff, or if he gets injured, Hendon Hooker can then step in. You got to have a reliable backup. You got to have a good backup at the quarterback position. Damn near half of the quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks last year, missed games. We keep Hendon Hooker. What if Jared Goff goes down for a long period of time? We're not too worried. Hendon Hooker can step in. We're not getting rid of Hooker. We like hookers in Detroit. If the Lions got Armstead and Rader, what's the defense? The defense looks better, much improved, stopping the run, and you'll have another pass rusher, but we need to get one in the draft. These guys here are good players, but they're not cornerstone players. They're going to help. They're going to help, but our cornerstone's going to be in the draft. Marcus Davenport, no one's depending on Marcus Davenport, and Raw is 100%. They're not dependent on Marcus, and they better. If they are dependent on Marcus Davenport, that would be a gigantic mistake. That would be a huge mistake if you're depending on him to be there 17 games. That would be a mistake. They need to get out more pass rushers. Thoughts on drafting Chop Robinson at 29? I'll take it. Good pass rusher. Look, if they got Armstead, they got Robinson, they get Rader, the defensive line is improved. Yay, yay, yay. Like, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. Still seeing if there's any breaking news. We'll re-up this bad boy to continue to look. Las Vegas Raiders Gardner Minshew responds to Max Crosby's little ass boy comment. He's a big ass boy. That is funny. Gardner Minshew is a Raider. They better draft a quarterback, man. Do you think that the Lions draft a kicker? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do think they're going to draft a kicker. Cardi. Watch that be our 7th or 6th round pick. Watch for it. I do think the Lions draft a kicker. Yes, we tendered James Houston. He'll be back unless he doesn't. If he wants to be a whiny butt, he can sit out the season or he's back Detroit. So he'll be back. He's not going to sit out. Marshawn Nealon can be a pick at edge, for sure. Very well could be. And that's why you need to subscribe to Raw Podcast, my friend TA. Talk to him all the time. He knows what he's talking about. Goff, he's an injury prone. He's not injury prone at all. I don't know why, he's not injury prone. And he's actually a tough SOB. Played after he had surgery on his finger like a week later. But, there's accidents happen, right? So you got to have your backup. Just because your quarterback is not injury prone, and Jared Goff is absolutely not that. And that's what you think you got to like about Jared Goff, man. Like, he avoids the injury. And that is something that good quarterbacks do. Peyton Manning, he did that. He avoided the injuries. That's another thing. Like, some of these guys, they know they'll take the hit, they'll take the sack, or they'll take the loss, or they'll throw it away. That's good moves, man. When I see quarterbacks throw the ball away if nothing is there, I like that. If it's not there, just get rid of it. Don't take a sack. Don't force a fumble. Don't take a hit. Live for another down. We got, that's the way you got to be, and that's hard to find quarterbacks like that. He's like that, and so that's good. That's really good. Really good about Jared Goff. But you got to, and I'm going to tell you right now, TA is not the biggest fan he likes mobile quarterbacks. He likes quarterbacks that run around and extend the play. So do I. He wanted to get a quarterback in the draft. He'll tell you, Jared Goff's coming back. Because you can't do what he did there, Jared Goff did this season, and not have him come back. You just can't do that. The dude played well. And as much as I want a mobile quarterback, I also like what Jared Goff is doing. And he is Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff. They work well together right now. And it's a great situation for all of them. It is. So, and we got Hendon Hooker, right? So we're good at the quarterback position, folks. I can tell you right now, 20 teams would love to have Jared Goff. 20, a little more, probably more than 20 teams would like to have Jared Goff. You're not going to take Goff over Mahomes or even a Lamar Jackson or an Allen or something like that, but you look, it's pretty much right up there, man. He's top 5 in every stat, so it is what it is. He is extremely underrated. He is underrated. The most immobile quarterback won the division. Yeah, like, look, and mobile's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, folks. It's an addition. And when I talk about mobile quarterbacks, we're talking about quarterbacks that extend the plays, not necessarily run, right? Mahomes extends the play. He's a mobile quarterback. Justin Herbert extends the play. He's a mobile quarterback. That's what we're talking about, extending the plays. Lamar Jackson's getting better at it. You're seeing that's the way. But Jared Goff is great at what he does. And so when you're great, like Tom Brady wasn't great at being mobile, right? Peyton Manning wasn't great at being mobile. And by no means am I saying Jared Goff is those two. I'm not. But you can have quarterbacks like that and be successful because they're so good. Like Jared Goff is so good breaking a play down. He knows where the open receiver is at. Not a lot of quarterbacks are like that. Jared Goff will wait for a play to happen, and he finds the open receiver. That is something that a lot of quarterbacks don't do. They just don't. So, like, you got to show love to Jared Goff. He's not mobile at all, but he excels at other things that make this team great. Yeah, look what TA says right here. Yeah, mobile. Love mobile guys. Jared Goff's doing his job. Can't complain. That's it. That's the way, and that's the most. When TA says that, you won somebody over. It's easy to go worse at quarterback than it is to get better. I'm good with Goff and Hooker. Yeah, I'm great with Goff and Hooker. Perfectly fine. We're good. Like, that position, good. Hooker, Goff, if they want to get an undrafted guy to compete for preseason and playing time in preseason, go all for it. Good to go. Casey Webb, $5 super Yahoo!
Ultra combo! Combo breaker! Ultra combo! Combo breaker!
Shout out to Casey Webb for that $5 super. Thank you so much, my man. Thank you. Yes, I would absolutely take Kool-Aid at 29. Even though we picked up, I'll take it. I'm all about fortifying the secondary and fortifying the defensive line. I think you guys and myself and everybody is tired of this bad defense. Defense. Get this defense up there, and I don't care. If it's corner, I know we picked up guys. If he's there, I'm fine taking it. Aaron Rodgers a psycho yet? I don't know, man. I haven't heard a whole lot about Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know what he's doing right there. Don't know. We've been on for an hour, folks, and that means it's the end of today's show. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Breaking news, stay right here, folks. Not only am I going to break it, but there's 5,000 other YouTubers that will break news. If the Lions sign DJ Reader, if they sign anybody else, expect a video to drop even today. Breaking news on LNU as well. I'll drop videos on there. So, folks, hit that notification bell, or if the Lions sign a player, expect within 10 minutes a video to be done. With that,